I'm talking about the comic books that I picked up on September 18th, 2019, coming up next. What's up, comic book fans? My name is Bruce Monroe and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here to the channel, thank you for stopping by and checking the channel out. And welcome to Comic Book Reviews, a weekly series where I review the books that I picked up at my local comic book shop. And I got 10 books this week. I read 9, so I'm going to review 9. I'm just going to talk about the 10th. And yeah, and I just want to apologize if I look a little run down, a little tired. I feel like I'm getting a cold. There's a cold going around my office this week, and I think it caught up with me. But let's not talk about having a cold. Let's talk about the books that I picked up this week at my local comic book shop. And those books are House of X, number 5, Batman, number 79, Absolute Carnage, number 3, Justice League, number 32, Spider-Man, number 1, Once and Future, number 2, The Weatherman, number 4, Flash Forward, number 1, Teen Titans, number 34, and Valkyrie, number 3. Alright, so first up this week, we have House of X, number 5. This is written by Jonathan Hickman and art by Pepe Larraz. I think it's Larraz. Larraz? Yeah, Larraz. Again, if I butcher your name, Pepe, I am so sorry. But this continues to be a fantastic read. I'm enjoying Jonathan Hickman's run on this so much. Powers of X and House of X are just relaunching the... I shouldn't say completely relaunching, but they're kind of setting up this whole new story, this whole new future for the X-Men, and I'm super excited for it. And this was an awesome read. So this kind of set up... if you've been reading House of X and Power of X, you'll know from the previous series that a lot of the key X-Men perished out in deep space, trying to stop the humans from making a master mold, which is where Nimrod will be made of, which is the ultimate sentinel, which hunts and kills X-Men. In this episode, I keep calling these episodes because they're kind of like mini TV episodes, but in this issue, we see what Xavier and Magneto had planned, and they were actually able to bring these mutants back to life. And it was kind of in like this very interesting, crazy way. He took Jonathan Hickman took a couple of these X-Men that really they had these strange, quirky powers, and kind of gave them a lot more meaning, and that was actually really cool. The main one that stuck out to me was Gold Balls. Gold Balls were introduced like 5 or 6 years ago, and yeah, his power was really silly and seemed really dumb, but it is actually very important to the X-Men's future. Yeah, so this was just really fun. I don't want to go into too much more, but again, the art in this book is absolutely fantastic. Pepe Larraz is amazing. This is Gold Balls up here using his power, and there's a little hint to what they're using it for. Yeah, it was just super fun, and I mean, Pepe Larraz is just so good. And there's some of the X-Men coming back out of their little cocoon eggs. It's just an awesome read. If you guys are into the X-Men at all, I would highly suggest picking this book up. The artwork is amazing. The storytelling is amazing. It's just a super fun, solid book. All right, up next, we have Batman, number 79. This is written by Tom King and art by Clayman. This is an amazing book. There are some people who are not liking it, and they're actually fellow YouTube comic book reviewers, YouTube comic book creators, and yeah, Joe Ryan Comics, I know he's not really liking this. There's a couple guys on Juan the Rican. They had a poll list show this weekend, and they were all saying how much they didn't like this book. But man, to me, seeing Batman stripped down the way he is and being vulnerable and letting Selina Kyle into his world and actually falling for her, letting himself truly fall in love with her, is just fantastic. And the last 2 issues, number 78 and 79, were all about this. And seeing Bruce as Patches Malone out working out with Selina Kyle, and then talking about when they first met, it's making their love story mean something. And I know this whole run has been like this really slow burn, but when I think people go back and reread Tom King's run, 85 issues, they're just going to love it, because it's just going to read as a love story to Batman. It's bringing him down to earth, stripping him down to who he is at the core, and it's just a human. And sometimes a human, you need to let people into your world, and you need to fall in love, and you need those people help support you and be who your true self is. And that's what I think a lot of this is. And Clayman's art is absolutely stunning and amazing. The dialogue in this book is absolutely incredible. It's so good. I am a huge fan, Tom King. I love what you're doing all over the DC universe. I love everything you're doing, man. It's so good. I'm so excited for everything you drop. And this image right here, Clayman. So if you can't tell already, I highly suggest everyone pick up Tom King Batman. I do think it probably will read the best in trade, and this hate that word. This is not going to be out in trade for a while, but once it is, pick it up. It's well worth the money, well worth the read, and well worth your time. Alright, so up next we have Absolute Carnage number 3. This is written by Donny Cates and art by Ryan Stegman, and this continues to be a super fun event. I'll start by talking about the art, because the art was my favorite part of this book. It's just, Ryan Stegman's art is so incredible in this book. It's perfect for it. I think out of the 3 issues so far, this is probably the weakest of the 3 issues. It just seemed to be lacking the whole entire story to me. The other books seemed to be faster paced, higher pressure, bigger events were happening. It was super fun. The dialogues just seemed to be more punchy, and this just kind of seemed to be feeding us information to setting us up for issue 4 and issue 5. This dealt a lot with Eddie Brock and the symbiote host disagreeing with each other, and that kind of set at the very ending of the book, which was just like a big event, and I'm super excited to see where that is. But yeah, it was an okay book, but overall, the first 3 issues of Absolute Carnage are super fun, and I suggest any Venom fan pick them up, because they are super fun, and the artwork by Ryan Stegman is just stellar. It just fits Venom so perfectly. Alright, next up we have Justice League number 32. This is written by Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV, and art by Howard Porter. This was an okay book. Compared to the last couple issues, I think this was kind of like so-so. We still have the Justice League team split in 2 times. One is in the way future, another one is in the way back, and they're trying to get parts of the totality to help fight the Legion of Doom in Perpetua. But overall, just kind of, I don't know. The art by Howard Porter, after coming off the art from Jorge Jimenez, is just kind of, it's okay. It's nothing like Jorge Jimenez, but there were a couple panels I absolutely loved that I wanted to share, like this one of the Flash down here. It's so cool. Golden Era Flash with Barry Allen. Totally sick. And I don't know, it just seemed kind to be fulfilling the storyline, pushing it forward. There wasn't any really cool major events that were like, oh my god, because we kind of knew who this guy at the end who showed up. We knew he was coming. We knew who it was. As long as you paid attention to the book. Some more of the artwork. But all that said, I know I don't sound super excited about the book, but Justice League is one of DC's best books, and what Scott Snyder and James Tynion is doing is super fun and super excellent. This just wasn't a solid issue. Of the 32 issues so far, I think there's been a handful that haven't been great. This just happens to be one of them. But what's coming out in the future, I'm super excited about. So I'm gonna say, if you're reading Justice League, continue to pick this up. If you're not, maybe not jump in at this point. You probably want to wait a few more issues to jump in. But overall, this is an amazing, amazing book. I absolutely love Justice League. All right, so this is a new one. This next book, I'm going to talk about it a little bit before. So this is, actually, let me just show you guys what it is. So this is Spider-Man #1. This is written by J.J. Abrams and his son, Henry Abrams, and art by Sarah Pichelli. So I kind of had a preconception of this book before I even started reading it. So I was like, why is Marvel letting J.J. Abrams and his son write a Spider-Man book? It's like, I guess to me, kind of felt like J.J. Abrams getting a foot in the door for his son. That is like, does he really need a foot already in the door to write a Spider-Man book and like have it printed? Can it really be that good? So I kind of had this pre-notion of doubt about it. It's like, oh, it's not going to be that good, which was silly. I shouldn't have done that. Like, this kid obviously wrote something that was awesome that J.J. Abrams brought to Marvel. Marvel was like, wow, this is really good. Let's print it. Let's do something with it. And they get Sarah Pichelli on this book. Are you kidding? Sarah Pichelli's like amazing. And this turns out this book was awesome. I was super surprised. Excuse me. It was fun. So this is kind of like an Elseworlds story. So it's not in continuity. This is kind of its own thing in its own universe. And I don't want to spoil anything, but Spider-Man is getting his butt kicked at the beginning of the flick. Again, it's like I'm talking about movies and TV shows. The issue, and you got this new villain called Cadaver, who's super cool, and some bad things happen. And in this world, he has a son instead of a daughter, because I know in a lot of the other universes he has daughters, and this one he has a son. And some like Peter Parker's life tragedy happens. And I don't want to say anything else, but it was really, really fun to me. And the artwork is absolutely incredible. If you're looking for a fun, not in continuity run, so you don't feel like you have to know all this stuff about Spider-Man. If you know nothing about Spider-Man except for what you see in the movies, you can jump at this because you know the general backstory. It's been told over and over and over again. You can pick this up. You know it's enough backstory just to jump in and enjoy it for what it is. And I would suggest doing that because this book was awesome. Not my pick of the week. That would probably go to Batman, but this was super fun. All right, up next we have Once in Future #2. This is written by Karen Gillian and art by Dan Mora. I didn't love the first issue. I did like it, and I'm super glad that it picked up issue #2 because this was much, much better. The dialogue and pacing of this book seemed much more on point where it needed to be. The story is awesome, dealing with monsters and Excalibur and King Arthur, and the fact that the monster hunter is this guy's grandma. And she's bullying him around as her grandson. It was really cool, and I'm really liking the art by Dan Mora. It's detailed. He's got beautiful line work. The way he draws the grandma is awesome. It's gory. This is a super fun book, and this was a great issue. This was definitely better than #1. And after #1 came out, they made this into a monthly ongoing book. It was just going to be a 6 or 8 issue book, but now this is going to be ongoing. So I am super excited. Congratulations, Karen Gillian, Dan Mora. This book is awesome. I highly suggest you guys pick this book up because it was fun. It's worth your time. It's worth your money. And who doesn't like a monster hunter? Okay, another amazing indie book. We have The Weatherman #4. This continues to be a super badass book, and just these covers and the colors are so good. So this is written by Jody LaHupp and Nathan Fox, and I'm so glad I continued to pick this book up because I did cut a few books this week, and I'll talk about that at the end of the issue. But this just continues to tell this wacky story where there's this plague that was set out on the world that are turning people into these zombie-like creatures that can gather up and form into big, huge, giant creatures. And yeah, it's just this crazy futuristic zombie apocalypse book, and it is awesome. And the dialogue by Jody LaHupp Hoop is just absolutely awesome. The pacing in this book is so great. You get just enough action and story in every single issue. Awesome read. I would definitely suggest you guys pick up The Weatherman. It is super fun. There is a trade. This is volume 2. I didn't read volume 1. I'm just reading volume 2, and I'm having a super good time. So I don't think you have to get volume 1. But if you want to pick up volume 1 and then go pick up these 4 issues, you're probably going to not regret it because it's awesome. All right, next up, we have Flash Forward number 1. This is written by Scott Lobdell and art by Brett Booth and Norm Ratman. This was kind of a disappointment. I picked this up because there was a few other fellow YouTubers who were talking about it, and I was like, and I love the Flash as a character as a whole. I really do, and that's why I'm really disappointed in the current Flash run. And I like Wally West a lot until they did the whole Flashpoint thing and he disappeared. I was really into him, and I liked that he had a family and a wife and 2 kids. And that was a really fun story. But what they're doing with him now is kind of, I don't know, kind of lame. I do like Brett Booth and Norm Ratman's art. It's solid. I feel like they were writing or drawing the Flash back when it was Wally. Looks very familiar to me. But this is decent. I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about it. I don't want to talk too bad about it, but it's like dealing with like this crazy beginning of time, kind of like a Galactus type, not World Eater, but like, you know, they were born at before worlds were worlds, and they're helping protect things, and there's this bad seeping into the multiverse, and I need someone to help me stop it. And then I guess Wally West is that guy. I don't know. I'm not going to suggest you guys pick this up because I really didn't enjoy this book. I read this on the train and I almost fell asleep reading it, so that obviously was not that engaging. So, that said, it was decent. If you got a few extra bucks, this is what, $4? If you got a few $4 and you want to see what's going on with Wally West and the Flash, pick it up. Otherwise, I would suggest skipping it. Alright, so last book of the week we have, well, that I'm reviewing. I got one more that I'll review on Instagram. But last book of the week, we have Teen Titans number 34. This is written by Adam Glass and art by Bernard Chang. This continues to be I don't know, a decent book. I don't like that they kind of like, what's it called? When you kind of leech off another story idea. A year ago, 2 years ago, Marvel did this whole Cosmic Cube where they turned all these inmates of this prison into, using this Cosmic Cube, they altered their reality to think they were normal people. So this prison was moved to a normal town, and all these prisoners thought they were like normal people until obviously something went wrong and they realized they weren't. And they're totally doing that in this, which is kind of whack. And we are issue 34 into Teen Titans, and they still don't trust each other as a team. Like, when are you going to start the gel? When is Damian going to stop being the a-hole that he is? Like, I don't know. There's a little bit of a twist at the end that I'm interested in, but I think this might be it for this book. I was really disappointed. I was like, all right, maybe we're going to start moving forward and being like the team will trust each other and gel and do something great. No, just more distrust, nothing is changing in any of the characters. They're all just the same where they started a while ago. And that makes a book very boring. So, not going to suggest you guys pick this up. I will say the artwork it's okay. It's nothing great. I like the way that Bernard Chang draws Crush. It's a really solid characterization of that character. But yeah, I'm gonna say skip this one as well, guys. I really didn't like it. I'm probably dropping it from the pull list to make room for some other books. All right, so the last book I picked up that I did not read, this is Valkyrie number 3. This is written by Jason Aaron and Al Ewing. And there's 5 artists on this book, which is crazy. There's the artist Cafu, Ramon Perez, Kane Tromi, with Robert Pogge and Fraser Irving. I know she is jumping around the multiverse with, I forgot one of the Asgardians. But I think when they go multiverse, the world to world, or multiverse to multiverse, they are changing artists, which is why there's so many. But I didn't want to peek. I want it to be a surprise. But that will be coming up if you guys follow me on Instagram, which I will put here. You guys can check out my review on that. I'll try to actually do a video review of that on Instagram. If not, I'll have some snazzy pictures and a written review. All right, so there is a couple books that I put back this week, which I was kind of bummed about. But you know, we all have a budget to stick to, right? And because of that, and because I didn't really. One of them because I didn't really enjoy that much. I wasn't enjoying. It was High Level number 6. I put that back. The last few issues were kind of like, eh. And I kind of wish I put back Teen Titans and, yeah, this Flash book. But I also put back Lex Luthor, Year of the Villain, which I think I probably should have picked up. But maybe I'll pick that up next week. But, so yeah, that's going to be it for the week, guys. And I'm sorry if I feel like I said, there's going to be a couple cups in this episode because I totally lost my train of thought in a few of those and I forgot characters' names, so I just cut it. So you'll notice though that, but if you guys liked what I was saying, make sure you guys smash that like button. And if you guys picked up different books that I didn't pick up, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to know what you guys are reading. And if there's books that I should be picking up or you think that I should be picking up, let me know down in the comments below. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this episode. If you guys are not subscribed, get yourself subscribed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.